Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm drawing a clumping perennial that's native to Europe. It's called Bear's Breeches. We bought this house and it was everywhere, and we've tried to eradicate it and it's not eradicating. So I don't have any blooming right now. I don't even know when it's supposed to bloom. Like I said, we just keep trying to remove it. I will throw up a photo of what the blooms look like because it's very, very unique, but the leaves are massive. So I'm going to do my composition sketches, and again, I apologize. I have to have my lamps on today. It is cold, it is rainy, it is very cold, it is wet. Yeah, I can't see in the dark, try as I might, so I apologize with how washed out this is going to be. But I have come to some realizations when it comes to doing botanicals. And I typically, like, my favorite two topics are portraits and animals. Like, I love animals. And I think it just has something to do with the face, like the eyes. It's expressive, it's unique. It's just a wholly unique thing. And I think that's why I don't gravitate towards botanicals. There's no eyes, there's nothing looking at you. It's just, I don't know, it's not the same. So my realization, if you could call it that, because again, I haven't been doing this very long. I'm on week 3 at this point, is that when it comes to drawing botanicals, I like the beat up ones. I like the leaves to be wholly and torn, and let me find one. It's nice when it's a whole plant. Like, don't get me wrong, that's cool. That looks great. And it's okay. But the tear is what's interesting. Like, to me, visually. I mean, unless you're going for big in color, right? Let me show you what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like, just a tore up, beat up, eaten, chewed on leaf. That is so much more interesting to me than a perfect leaf. Like a leaf that's whole and looking good and having a great day. This is so much more interesting. So that is my botanical realization. It took me a couple weeks to figure this out and to lean into it and acknowledge it. This is my sample for today. So it's very much a yellow. It's a yellowish green that fades into yellow that has burnt brown edging and tons of bug holes. So something's been chewing on it. There are some perfect leaves out there that are really dark brown. That's what the really good looking leaves look like. I don't want to draw those. I'm not interested. I'm going to draw this chewed up one. And I get to work on blending my green into my yellow. I get to work on ragged edges. I don't know what it is. It's just so much more interesting to me. So now that I understand this about myself, unless I'm doing like a big, beautiful, colorful flower, it's just not, it's not that interesting to me. So I need to have samples, or I need to have ideas of things, and I need them tore up. I need them munched on and eaten. I need them looking like they've had better days. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting the whole thing. And this is where the vein is. Whew, lots of stuff. And a lot of my pages have dirt and bark and things on them, and I'm leaning into the mess. Again, it's botanicals, so I'm leaning into the whole thing. But yeah, that's my realization. I guess I could have teased that out a little bit better. But why waste your time? Time's precious, and you know, I want to honor your time. So, now that we know this about me, When I go to do botanicals or leaves or things, they've got to be just have tons and tons of character. I need the character. I need something weird and I need something wonderful. Bark's been okay, sticks have been okay. Like it's all right. Again, big bright flowers, obviously, just because of the rich color. Fruit, I don't draw a lot of food, so incorporating that into this challenge was a great idea for me. Because again, I get bored if I am doing the same things over and over and over again. I have to have some variety in my life. Boy, that's just crinkled. Okay, so that is my beat up leaf. And I like it, but it's way too dark and I'm gonna be going in with light colors. So let me sort of back erase some of this. Fruit's kind of boring. I'm just being 100%. If I wasn't going for hyper-realism with this challenge, adding animal eyeballs to fruit would be way more engaging and creative and niche and fun for me. Like this one's going to have mountain lion eyes. This one's going to have cuttlefish eyes. Have you seen the pupils of a cuttlefish? Highly recommend. This one's going to have goat eyes. Their pupils are weird too. Chameleon eyes, like that, doing the weird animal eyes and putting them on like fruit. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's why I don't typically do drawing challenges that are when I look at all the October drawing challenges, there's so many, and I think I gravitate towards ones that are more monster inclined or poison inclined, and I think it's just because, one, there's just a lot of ideas you can do with that, but I can sneak in animals that way, I can sneak in people that way. I don't lean into like autumn challenges that are very much like we're gonna draw pumpkins in a pumpkin patch and stuff. Like that's, I don't know, it's just not interesting. And I mean no disrespect by that. So for the colors, the earth green yellowish, this is dark Naples ochre, and this is going to be part of the brown. Gosh, he's had better days. I know I've said this color like 8 times in these videos, but my brain isn't braining, so I don't know. He's 167, and then the walnut brown. So I'm going to blend this one into this one for these edges. And I'm going to blend the green into the yellow. It's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah, it's infinitely more interesting. So those are my realizations. So the next time I go to do a drawing challenge, next year probably, let's just be for real. It's October and I know where my limits are. I could pick fruit, but again, I'm going to have to anthropomorphize it and really lean into, let me zoom in a little bit so this looks better. Well, that was anticlimactic. It wasn't much of a zoom, was it? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, when I go to do something else, I think that's why I don't typically do still lifes, you know, like fruit with flower and vase. I am not interested in drawing vases or like household kitchen items. Like that has never been something I gravitate towards. It's not something that I look at when I look at art. That's not something that I have hanging on my walls, and that's not something I create. So all the different types of ways of having art in your life, still life is not a part of it at all. So, and I kind of like that there's smudges of dirt. Yep, it's from the leaf, it's on the leaf. Oh, the irony isn't missed. Okay. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So again, when I go to figure out how to do some unique challenges next year or challenges I've never done before, I'm just going to, if I decide to do fruit or veg or something, I'm going to have to anthropomorphize it and add eyes or mouths or something, or ears, which is really weird. It's not like a, well, you see that every day. It's not going to be one of those. I mean, it's not the weirdest thing you've ever seen in your life, but that it's like why I did mermaid one year and it was animals with tails, which is fine. Like I gave a sea turtle a tail. It's kind of redundant. You just go with it. But then I got weird. I did like a T-Rex. I did a jerboa. I did an insect. The tarantula hawk. It's a type of wasp. I just got really, really weird. And gave them tails. And I think that's my way of compromise, of meeting in the middle, of going, okay, this is the challenge. It's going to be a challenge for me because I'm not interested in it like that. So how do I make it something I am interested in? So when it comes to botanicals, I need tore up things, and I need not to do so much hyper realism or like scientific sketches or whatever in terms of like it being wholly realistic. I need to add some more elements that are engaging to me, that are things that I like creating in the long term, like moving forward with this. Like I've done it realistically once and that's awesome and that's fine, but now I need to do something else. So those are the steps, and those are the notes I'm going to make in my planner, and then be like, okay, so for next year, consider doing a fruit challenge. Make it animalistic fruit. Make it realistic fruit. It could be fruit with expressions. And then my notes for botanicals would be like, yes for leaves, but only if they're jagged and eaten. And maybe include the insect that eat it. That's way more time than I think I have for illustrations. So like my imagination for what I want to do and the time I have to do it aren't going to line up with that. But that would be really, really cool to do the plant with the holes and then the insect that ate it. Insects are fine. Amphibians are fine. I've never done a drawing challenge that was all amphibians. That is another idea I could have going forward for next year, of drawing things I've never drawn before. I've done snakes. I did like 31 days of snakes back in 2019. We had lost our power for 3 days. And so I was doing my drawing challenge, and it's October. So October isn't bright and sunny. It's rainy and it's cold. So I was like at noon with the most amount of daylight I could muster, day 3, batteries of everything are dead. Sitting in the dark, pen and inking snakes. I do love snakes. Snakes are gorgeous. And they have really cool personalities. Anyway, so I could do a favorite things drawing challenge and pick all the favorite things of my family members and loved ones. And that would be something sentimental. And that is another way to keep me engaged and motivated, is to have personal feelings attached to it. It's not that I'm bored, okay? Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not bored with this challenge. I just think that sort of very cut and dry. Here is the blank, next page. I wouldn't want to do this drawing challenge over and over and over again. Just a straight up botanicals drawing challenge. I think that's why I've been adding weird little things like insects and a random amphibian. Like I have to. You want to see the finished amphibian? There we go. I drew both. Okay. I think that's how I keep myself engaged with it all. Yeah, these are the realizations. So I've never done this drawing challenge before because I've never been interested, and I'm forcing an interest, which is creating a higher challenge. But once I'm done, I'm going to be like, yeah, I did that. I don't know that I need to do that again. And I think for me to get engaged to want to do it again, I'm going to have to spice it up and make it real weird. So those are the life learning lessons, the epiphanies I'm having with doing this botanical drawing challenge. And I didn't expect to have any. I try not to think too deep. I try to get in the zone and just draw and just enjoy my time and, you know, listen to my audiobooks or my music. And I have to turn this to the side. I have to. It's more comfortable for my hand. Okay. Yeah. So I would say for yourself, for your person, as you create, as you go through and do drawing challenges or just draw, just be hyper aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and what gets you super excited, like what brings a smile to your face, and really, really self-reflect and lean into introspection. And that will help you personally moving forward with creating and drawing and doing all the things you want to do. Right, I have a layer. It's pale, it's washed out. I have my lights on because, oh my gosh, it is so dark. It is so dark outside. And I need to run around in public for a bit and record outdoor bits for tomorrow because tomorrow's going to be pouring. So I'm not... Again, I'm trying to get my camera to last as long as humanly possible. So in order to do that, I have to protect it from the rain. I have to. Like, even in the forest and it's a good canopy, I still have to find clever ways of protecting my equipment. Because I beat up this camera. I did not intend to do that. That was never my intention or my goal. But taking cameras to the beach with wind, things get sandblasted and it's messy and it's destructive. So my camera isn't like 100% rocking and rolling, and I just need it to last forever. It's not in my budget to buy a new one. Like, how would I even... My budget's $500 a year for art supplies. How would I budget in a new digital camera? Like, that's wild. Okay. So, yep. On this cold Tuesday day. I can't believe how cold it is. Like, we're gonna have to turn on our heater, it's cold. Oh, I'm freezing. Freezing my bits. Okay, more yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. So, yep, moving forward. So how would I approach a still life? Knowing this about myself and what I prefer, how would I then approach a still life art challenge and try to make it interesting, make it engaging, get myself excited about doing it every day? Because I can sit through and draw anything for 30 days and not be, I don't have to be in love with it or enthused or excited. Like, I've done enough drawing challenges that I just turn my brain off and it's not an issue. But how do I keep myself like super happy, super engaged, just having the best time? And for a still life, I think I would have to do a thing where, again, it wouldn't be hyper realistic, because if I only have 3 hours and if I'm painting and if I'm doing multiple things, like, I know how long it takes me to create. So if I'm doing like a vase with flowers and fruit, like, that's a lot of subject matter. I think I would do hidden, like a hidden mouse or something, and have it be a bit abstract, just not so hyper realistic, so I could get that, all that subject matter in 3 hours. And then I would have to include like a little animal. I would have to. And that would be exciting and fun, like working out clever ways with composition to hide a mouse face peeking around different things. Or I'm just trying to think, like, what's on tabletops that seems more natural, like a cat peering around stuff. It could be house cats with silly expressions or something. And that would make the still life subject matter really fun and engaging for me to create. And the more fun I have, the more likely I am to keep pushing myself, to keep going, to want to try it again another year, to add that to my repertoire. Because what happens is, like, my mind goes, I don't want to draw a vase with flowers and fruit. That's boring. But once I get in and I start drawing it, there's going to be some aspect of it I really enjoy. Like, I really enjoy leaves that are torn up. I never thought I would enjoy drawing leaves. It didn't occur to me to think about anything other than just a whole leaf. But now that I know that about myself, that is something I can now incorporate into other sketches and illustrations and things. So I could get in and be like, you know what, I really like China patterns, or I really like doing tablecloths, or I don't even know at this point, but there could be some weird aspect of it that I could pick up and take with me to something else going, yeah, I really should have tried drawing still lifes before, and I would have learned an extra thing about myself, and I could incorporate that to something else later on and know that I enjoy that. And then, you know, for an ultimate bash, it could be a favorite things sketchbook challenge, and I can combine all the elements and have the world's weirdest sketchbook, and it can be just all my loves, and that's awesome. See what I'm saying? Like, I just want to say it's portraits and animals, but is it though? Because I'm learning things about myself doing this. I know I like drawing mushrooms because I just really like drawing mushrooms. I love drawing birds. Any chance to sneak in a bird, I will always try and take it. So a lot of my sketchbooks that are themed, there's some way to throw a bird in there. I mean, I did a drawing challenge. I did a Mabs Drawloween years ago, and the prompt was poisonous, and I did the patooey, which is a poisonous bird. Like, the skin and stuff is all poisonous. So any way to, like, throw things in. I'll link my playlist of sketchbook tours, and you can go through and really see how I sneak things in. Like, one of the prompts was pumpkin, and I think I did a lioness because I was in the mood to watercolor a lion, and I'm saying her name was Pumpkin. So if I want a greater amount of subject matter to create from that I wholly enjoy, I need to try and do some of the drawing challenges I've never done before. And I need to find a way to make them fun and discover new and exciting things about myself. So the never stop growing, the never stop learning has to come through practice. And for me, it has to be something daily, and it has to be some sort of challenge. And it has to be something I don't do a lot of, because I'm not doing the same things over and over again. I'm not learning enough. I'm not learning enough about me or my drawing styles or how I like to create, or just new subject matter that gives me a thrill. I'm not learning enough. I'm not growing. So I have to branch out. I have to sort of hold myself accountable and kind of force, sounds like a strong word, but I have to strongly encourage to myself that I try new things and convince myself that this is a great idea. Even if it's like, oh God, that sounds so boring to me. Like, yawn. That's a huge yawn. Even if it's not to you. And I apologize if I am sounding disrespectful about something you really, really enjoy. I just, like, this is how I process. Like, thinking out loud, talking to you. Like, this is how I come to terms with some of these things. And yeah, I want to grow as an artist. I want to have more ideas and have more things that I enjoy creating and throwing into my illustrations. Different aspects, different subject matters. And maybe it's not even a subject matter that I learned to love. Maybe it's a different style of composition. So in order for all this to take place, I have got to start embracing things that I have never embraced before. So, botanicals it is, folks. Botanicals. Give me the leaves that have seen better days. They are wholly enjoyable. Okay, I'm gonna knock it off right here. I guess I could do some of the detailing on the video. I mean, these videos could all be like an hour a piece, but I don't know that you have 31 hours. Like, I don't have 31 hours, so I don't expect you to. Like, that's kind of weird. I'm adding the brown tore up edges here. And some of these edgings are in real bad shape, and I love it. It's the color combination. That's what I love about it, is it looks so messed up. But it's all these unique blending and creating opportunities. I'm sorry, Leaf. Leaf's like rude. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep drawing it and keep creating. And this was my realization 3 weeks into this drawing challenge. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.